Welcome to LearnLogicPro.com. Today we're going to look at grouping. So looking at the Arrange window here of Logic Pro 8, I've added 8 audio tracks, and I want to group these tracks together. So I'm going to go down to where the mixer is down at the bottom and click on Mixer. And you notice you have all 8 tracks here. Okay. Holding down the Shift key allows you to select multiple tracks and channel strips at once. Okay. You can do kind of like a preliminary grouping by doing that. But if you wanted to keep this group to be hard-coded, even if you were not selecting them or if something else was selected, that's where grouping comes into play. And here in this little gray area, you've got the option to do grouping. So I'm going to turn on Group 1. When you select that, the group settings is launched. So we're going to call this group Drums. Okay. And in this Drums, we can group the region select when you're editing in the Arrange window on all tracks, track zooming, hide tracks, again Arrange window attributes, record enable, automation mode, channel strip color if you want them all to be the same color. You have an option to group volume and mute, and you also have an option to do panning as well. So we've essentially grouped all of these different attributes to all of these channel strips. You also have an option to group sends as well. Once you've changed these parameters and you've set your group settings, you can now close that window and deselect, and at this point you'll notice that these are still grouped. To change any one, you can turn off the group temporarily, move it, and turn the group back on. You'll notice that the distance between the two channel strips are relative to each other as they move up and down. Some other tricks about grouping is if I come here and I select these, and this only works if they're manually selected like this, you can actually put in effects. So we'll put in an echo on all of those, and you notice it just loads in on every single one. You can add an EQ by double-clicking just one, and it adds an EQ on every single one. Same stands if you change the send to bus 1, it puts bus 1 on every single channel. You can also specify by multiple selection the input value. I could change the input value on all these to 2, and all of these are now input 2. You can also do the same by changing the output value. I could change the output value of all of these to the single bus. Going down the list, we can turn on read on every single, moving them up and down, muting. All of these things are now grouped. And that's grouping in Logic Pro 8. LearnLogicPro.com.